This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury. I actually took a road trip yesterday up to Brookville, Indiana, with my godfather, who was celebrating his 73rd birthday, to visit with Jim True. It was all business. I drove up there, bought 6 Fords to encourage him to continue to endorse us, and then came back home. Had lunch at Brio's, went home and worked the rest of the night. I've not had any sleep. I know you expect that from me. That means that I'm going to deliver some superb radio. Also, we got a new addition today. There's some kid that every time we come in here, he's cleaning the joint, and we decided let's put him on. He's going to be our very own Joe Dirt. We've never spoken to him, really. We've just left him alone, but sometime today we'll put on Joe Dirt. I wonder if he's got a crazy story as Joe Dirt did.
I'm sure he does. Working these late nights, like, yeah, you get some stories built up.
I love Joe Dirt.
Can't wait to meet him.
And I just want to say that we're going to have a great show as always, Radio Superbity as we call it. Happy President's Day. Don't you wish we could only bring back a great president? Of course you do. But we're going to cover all the news. I've got some life observations. Maxim Magazine came out. Have some funny things to report in Maxim Magazine. And, of course, you know, we have to give props to Wildman Walker, who wore his ClassX T-shirt on Sports Rock last night. Garrett, you need to leave him alone. You know, you've been picking on him a little bit too much. You know, he represented a radio station with his T-shirt. I mean, everything he said sucked, but he wore the T-shirt.
Yeah. I probably am too hard on him. Yeah. But I'm not paying for his vacation to spring training.
No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. You know what? Dear old Uncle Jerry just had his 85th birthday.
Oh, God bless him. Is that Oracle status worthy?
Yeah, absolutely. And hanging on his wall in his office, little drawbridge in, was a plaque by TR, which is our quote of the day. Aggressive fighting for the right is the noblest sport the world affords. And I actually have that on my webpage, ericdeters.com, because it is true. Every single day I fight Goliath. And you know what? It gets, how should I say it? It gets greater every day. I have more Goliaths to battle than ever before. I keep adding Goliaths. 2 of my next Goliaths are going to be the 2 largest Cincinnati law firms who I am going to sue. How you like that? This story that I have relative to this, the going-ons with this case that involves Mr. Shakely is incredible. I mean, incredible. 1564, the artist Michelangelo died in Rome. And I saw that there is a cable channel that is going to have a special about Leonardo da Vinci, who apparently could, like, write with his left hand and right hand at the same time and everything else. But I didn't know he was such a stud. Apparently this show depicts that. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn were published for the first time this day in history in 1885. 1929, the first Academy Awards were announced. 1930, the planet Pluto was discovered by Clyde Tombaugh. And, of course, now they're saying Pluto's only a moon and not a planet. How dare they? By the way, speaking of planets, how about that meteor that went flying through? How come everything always crashes in Siberia? Thank God, huh? If it's going to crash somewhere in the world, let it crash in Siberia. Youngest baseball player, 1944. The Reds signed our own 15-year-old Joe Nuxall. Gotta like that. And in 2001, this is the day in history that Dale Earnhardt Sr., the day that racing died.
This is undoubtedly one of the toughest announcements that I've ever personally had to make.
killed at Daytona.
But after the accident in turn 4 at the end of the Daytona 500, we've lost Dale Earnhardt.
He arrived to the hospital at 16:54. A full trauma resuscitation was attempted for about a little over 20 minutes, at which time he was placed on a ventilator. Multiple IV lines were given, IV fluids, chest tubes, various diagnostic tests. He never showed any signs of life and subsequently was pronounced dead by all the physicians in attendance.
NASCAR has lost its greatest driver ever, and I personally have lost a great friend.
You know, just hearing that.
That's Bill Francis' quote, and I think that pretty well sums
just
it
gives
up.
me the heebie-jeebies again. I remember the day that happened, man. That was just weird and spooky.
Can't stand racing those hillbillies, but that was pretty nuts.
You know, Dale Earnhardt was the Intimidator. That was his nickname, the Intimidator. And there is nobody like him. His son is obviously not like him. And it's just a terrible, terrible loss. Today's birthdays, Molly Ringwald. We go from Intimidator to Molly Ringwald, 45. Matt Dillon, 49. Vanna White, the letter Turner, 56.
You missed the best one on the list.
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre is 48 years old.
Who the hell is Dr. Dre?
Man, only
Jack
super
Wagons.
Producer of all time on the West Coast.
How about,
he's an even better producer than me.
How about John Travolta, 59? Oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God.
Oh, John Travolta here.
Oh, my God, oh, my God. Sandy, oh, my God. Now we know what a Travolta is. You spread those legs when you're face down a little bit further. Sandy, oh, my God. I had the biggest crush on Olivia Newton-John.
Who?
Olivia Newton-John had a beautiful blonde named Sandy. Of course, at the end of the show, she painted her toenails and fingernails dark. And I just tossed her to the side. I didn't care for her anymore. Didn't like bad Sandy. I like good Sandy. Sybil Shepherd, 63. Yoko Ono is 80. She's still around. And how about Ferrari? Mr. Ferrari, birthday today. And proud to report, or happy to report, no casualties. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, on this Monday, I've decided to play soulful music. Soulful music. And I begin with Drift Away by Dobie Gray on Class X Radio, because we like our rock and roll around here. Bulldog on Class X Radio. By the way, I got a movie review for you. Identity Theft is hilarious. Critics slammed it. Everybody in the movie theater Friday night at Florence Rave loved it. Killing Lincoln, the National Geographic special, was not compelling, based on Bill Riley's book. Paled compared to Spielberg's Lincoln. I watched the documentary yesterday. Garrett called, well, I don't know what it was called, but it was about Chuck Wepner. And apparently Sly Stallone based Rocky on his life and denied it, but later settled a lawsuit. And this guy, just like Rocky, was a leg breaker. Just like Rocky ran up those steps in Philadelphia. Just like Rocky went 15 rounds with Muhammad Ali, just like Rocky did Apollo Creed. Rocky admitted that when he was at the fight, when he saw that, Stallone said, hey, that's me. Pretty interesting. And then he did Copland, because Chuck Wepner got busted. He also did a little movie about him being in jail. And then there was another show. I mean, it was kind of like he kept doing spoofs off or shows off Chuck Webner's life. Pretty interesting.
So he was a real-life Rocky.
Real-life Rocky. By the way, he knocked Ali down. Hit him in the chest. Anyway.
Speaking of boxing, did you see Cincinnati's own? Forget his name.
No. I did not.
They've got a guy that's like a top. I got to look him up. It's like a top 6 boxer in the world. Knocked somebody out this weekend.
Really?
What is his name?
On the way to Brookville with the old Godfather, I pull into a gas station to get gas. And some dude from Newport was having problems because he had a flat tire, no jack. And I was in a hurry to get where I was going. Now, I wonder how many people would do this, Mr. Garrett. I gave him my jack and said, just put it in the store, tell him to keep it for me, and I'll pick it up later. Then I forgot to get it. I wonder if it's there today. But anyway, I gave him my jack. My godfather couldn't believe I did it.
Pretty nice of you.
And I said, man, that could have been Jesus. And I was being tested. And if I didn't give Jesus my jack, what the, you know, besides that, if I ever got a flat tire in my truck, I ain't changing the damn thing. I'm calling AAA.
Yeah. I wouldn't have done the same thing. Left that guy right there. Give a damn about him.
Well,
Adrian Broner's the guy's name.
Adrian Broner?
Yeah. Lightning quick.
Lightning quick. Today's forecast, partly cloudy, high of 54. And apparently it's going to have a rain-snow mix. Tuesday, cloudy and windy. Wednesday, mostly sunny. You ready for some useless and interesting facts? Hell yeah, you are. How far could you go for $10 million? 25% would abandon their friends, family, and church. 7% would murder. I can honestly say that I would do none of those things for $10 million. Would not do it. I'm going to get $10 million anyway. 4% of the U.S. population is vegetarian. Thank God for the cattlemen. 40% of cat and dog owners carry pictures of their pets in their wallets. Folks, that's messed up. Then again, what am I talking about? I got whiskey in my phone. A car is stolen every 30 seconds in the United States. Just remember that next time you leave your keys in there. 200 babies are born worldwide every minute. The average person speaks about 31,500 words per day. And I like to know how many freaking words I speak a day. 56% of the video game market is adults. You know what? That both shocks me, disappoints me, and scares me. In most advertisements, including newspapers, the time displayed on a watch is 10:10. Wonder why. Special.
What are these?
Like a watch. Like if you ever see a watch or a clock displayed in an ad, it's always at 10:10. I wonder why that is. Did you ever date someone and think that their sibling was more attractive after the relationship began? Well, hell yeah, people do that all the time. I don't know if I had. Now get this. Speaking of numbers, this is from Maxim Magazine. 4 billion is the number of videos viewed on YouTube every day. Only 20% of adults plan on having a drink on St. Patrick's Day. That's pathetic. And get this. Now, this is messed up. 17% of men and women admit to infidelity with a brother-in-law or sister-in-law. Man, that is disgusting. Jeez, oh, Pete. I wonder if Joe Dirt back there cleaning has ever fooled around with a sister-in-law or brother-in-law. If he even has any, I don't know. Weekend box office report. A Good Day to Die Hard. Did they even freaking think
They didn't add
about the
headline.
freaking movie?
Yeah, the title.
A Good Day to Die Hard.
Yeah. Never a good day to die hard.
They weren't thinking, man. 25 million. Identity theft, 23.4. Safe Haven. What a sappy movie. I wonder what Ryan Seacrest thought of his girlfriend making out with that Josh dude. I wouldn't like it.
Seacrest's such a douche.
He is. He's a big douche. And he's like the kingpin of entertainment. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, why? Multiple sources have reported that 37-year-old country singer Mindy McCready has taken her own life. She's a troubled child. Taylor Swift's been sued for $2.5 million. She failed her formative hoedown in Canada in August. She canceled but kept the money. Man, if you do a hoedown, you got to do a hoedown. By the
Sign
way,
up for the hoedown.
yesterday Parker was watching Chappelle's show on Netflix when I was working, and we got to watch the Charlie Murphy with Rick James, bitch. And I tell you,
Rick James, bitch.
And then also the Prince basketball game. Oh, it was so freaking funny.
God,
Rick James.
those were classics.
Rihanna left a London bar with a bloody knee after their patron allegedly threw a bottle at her and screamed some words about Chris Brown. Who cares? Selena Gomez has reportedly taken to drinking over her breakup with Justin Bieber.
Atta girl, Selena. Hit the bottle hard.
That ain't all you just watch. She'll be giving up to anybody and everybody.
Yeah. I'm going to move out there. This is it. This is where I swoop in. Rebound for Selena.
Mary J. Blige has been hit with a $900,000 tax lien from the state of New Jersey.
Come on, Mary J.
SNL spoofed Jesus coming out of his tomb and killing people with swords before turning to a gun. That was messed up, sacrilegious.
I was going to say, I heard some people a little up in arms about that.
They did spoof the Carnival Cruise Line with, the two people kind of talking about.
You ever been on a cruise?
One time, and it sucked. I felt like a caged animal.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Cruise is not good for me. It's not me. They did a parody of Fox and Friends with Ted Nugent and made it seem like Obama's speech, when played backwards, made him say he was a Black Panther headed off to smoke some weed. You think Saturday Night Live's a little liberal? Yes. But I'd host it. One day, that's what I'm going to do. You watch. One day I will host Saturday Night Live. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury, I told you we're going to have soulful music today on a Monday. This is Johnny Cash when the man comes around. You better hope he doesn't count you on ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. All kinds of sports news, as always, on a Sunday. First, Danica Patrick will start the 2013 Daytona 500 on February 24th at noon in the pole position. She became the first woman to win a pole position and the 11th consecutive first-time pole winner for the Daytona 500. Will she win the pole?
She's on the pole.
But will she win the race from the pole, or will the pole be a detriment?
Probably not.
She can always be a pole dancer.
Always go back to the real pole, the brass ass.
NBA commissioner says it's possible that the Sacramento Kings could stay in Sacramento instead of being moved to Seattle, but he failed to explain why. NBA news. The NBA played their all-star game, and the West won 143-138. Kevin Durant had 30. Griffin 19, he was MVP. And Paul was Mr. Dish. James scored 19 for the losing. A whole bunch. But you know what? I predicted the West would beat the East. Didn't you?
I didn't really care. What was the final score? Got it in there. It's probably
239 to 240.
Sounds about right.
It was 143 to 138.
Yeah. No defense. I mean, you think there's no defense in a regular NBA game.
And speaking of the weekend, my UK Wildcats were destroyed.
Oh,
destroyed by 30 points at Tennessee. The first game without Nerlens Noel. Yeah. You know what I think they did?
Looks like Cauley Stein really stepped in well for him.
Well, the two big guys, him and, the power forward, they got in foul trouble. I think everybody was just trying to do too much to make up for it. That's what I think. Yeah, Tennessee's good, too, but anyway.
They're rattled.
They're rattled.
Big time.
Did you hear about the McDonald's All-American game?
No.
There's 14 people that have been invited to it. 5 of them are going to UK next year. And I read where they don't think Nerlens Noel will fall very far and might still be the number 1 pick because of the block shot. If you need a center, he's the best center out there. The only thing is people keep saying, about a Greg Oden? What about Greg Oden,
Yeah, but he's no Greg Oden. He was the best player in the game when he went down. So that wouldn't surprise me. He'll go top 5.
Yeah. But anyway, that's interesting, isn't it? He's still going to be gone.
Yeah.
Well, Nerlin, I just want to say thanks for coming to UK anyway.
Kenya Martin broke his leg his senior year in like one of the last games, so it's a little different, but was still the number 1 overall pick.
UK may not make the tournament, man.
Yeah. And I'm going to love every minute of it. UC will be in there. We'll get about a 6 or a 7 seed.
It makes for March Madness. You know who I'll root for? Louisville.
UC. What?
Patino in Louisville, baby.
Yeah.
Oscar Pistorius, his agents canceled all future track races. A good idea since you're in jail.
Yeah, what do you think about that now? I'm
family
starting to change
says-
my tune.
The family says he's innocent.
Of course they do.
He only shot her 4 times accidentally.
You want that case? I was going to give him a call maybe later and see if we
Hell
could
yeah,
offer
take that case. He's rich.
your services. Isn't it in Australia? It's just a judge, right?
South Africa.
Or yeah,
One
South
good
Africa. I
thing-
get the two confused.
One good thing is he'd
The
be
white
eligible
people
for
running
parole
with
in like
accents.
20 years. There's no death penalty in South Africa, so if you're going to wax your model super girlfriend, you do it in Africa. South Africa. Man, that's just weird, man. They heard arguing. They heard arguing before.
Well, now
what
they
if there's
found
a
a
mystery man?
Now they find a bloody cricket bat in the room. Did you hear about that? Yeah,
No.
I mean, it's looking bad for him now.
A bloody cricket
Bloody
bat.
cricket bat.
Did he beat her, too?
I don't know. I mean, that's what they're trying to figure out, how it got all bloody, because it's like
They say he's got a history of domestic violence.
Yeah.
But some former girlfriend tweeted, Oscar never touched me. He only made passionate love to me
sweet, sweet love.
with his blades. Cincinnati Cyclones.
You think it's cheating that he used those in the Olympics?
Hell no. Guy don't have any legs, man. Freaking cheating. You're not going to tell me blades are better than regular legs.
I think he's a cheating bastard.
He might have cheated on his girlfriend.
Now he's going down for
Maybe that's why he got busted.
assault, brother.
You know, who knows? You know what? Maybe you ought to take it a little easy on him. He's innocent until proven guilty by a court of law.
Guilty. I'm just going to pin it on him right now.
Louisville,
Wouldn't even go to trial.
Louisville beat South Florida 59-41. Number 20 Wisconsin waxed Ohio State 71-49.
Yeah, that was.
How do you
I
like them
watched that
marbles,
game.
baby?
Wisconsin is freaking good, man. They just get a lot of white guys that can shoot. They don't
Yeah.
turn the ball over. Ohio State's got to run that half court.
White guys that can shoot. Wish UK had one. Wiltshire. You know
UC
what?
had one.
Wiltshire is like 4 gears slower than everybody else on the court at one time. It's really disgusting how slow he is. Sad to report, 22-year-old EMT Cody Medley, who trained at the Sunman Rural Fire Department in Dearborn Counties, died from injuries when his ambulance collided with a sedan in Indianapolis. His partner, EMT Timothy McCormick, died not long after the crash. Man, God bless those guys. Ohio Governor John Kasich going to give his State of the State speech tomorrow. Hey, Kasich, ask me if I give a damn. You know what? I am so down on all the freaking politicians. I could give a damn what they say, what they do, what they think, what they mean. They're all a bunch of lying jackwagons. What else do we have here? Local GOP Chairman Alex Triantafulu. I like that guy. He said voting irregularities in November elections will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. You go prosecute them, Alex. University of Cincinnati has brought in over $1 billion through a fundraising program that began in 2005. My question is this. Who gave them the money?
I was a big part of that. I gave him about $2.5 million. We had a long way to go, but
Good for you, man.
local support.
I'm glad you gave them all that money.
Build us a freaking basketball arena.
Yeah, build us a basketball arena so we can fill it
Morons.
halfway full.
They got a great college basketball stadium at UC, a horrible football field, and a horrible basketball. The two that make money, actually. Ridiculous.
Remember that young girl that went to the White House and then died, was shot?
Yeah, in Chicago.
Well, get this. The 18-year-old Chicago woman was killed only hours after her sister sat on stage behind the president to hear a speech about gun control. Janae McFarling, the mother of a 3-month-old, was shot Friday around 11 p.m. in North Chicago. I'm telling you right now, they're dropping like flies in Chicago.
Yep.
Come on, Rom. Come on, Barack.
That's his hometown.
Gun control.
Well, not hometown, but.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, we come back with some more Radio Supreme. I'm trying to wake up everybody around here.
And again, fishes run.
When we come back, I think I'm going to interview the cleaning guy around here, Keith. We found out his name was Keith. We're going to have our very own Joe Dirt on ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. You know, we got a new addition, I think, to the show. Although, don't expect too much airtime. We already give too much airtime to Traffic Girl and the zoologist we have here. Garrett and I are wanting to cut everybody back. But anyway, joining us now is our very own Joe Dirt. This is a guy that every time we come in the studio,
he's always here.
He's always here cleaning the place. And it came to us that why not have our very own Joe Dirt? And we understand your name is Keith?
It is, yes.
How long have you been cleaning this freaking joint?
10 years.
Have you had to clean just this studio? Do you clean the whole floor of the building?
I clean the whole building.
What a miserable job. What part of town you live in?
I live up the street, just Ezra Charles.
Oh, no.
Ezra
no
Charles.
Wonder. Go figure.
Do you walk here?
Yep.
You don't have a car, do you? You don't have a license probably or anything?
I work here. I clean.
How many times have you been in jail?
4.
Not very nice of you, Garrett, picking on the guy.
Just asking, obviously.
Just because he has
tattoos.
Just because he has tattoos does not mean he's in jail.
How long you been black?
He's not black.
He's a whitey.
You're me. Keith, I want to apologize to you.
It's okay.
Do you have any wild, crazy, even one goofy story like Joe Dirt?
I don't really.
What about the time we came in here and stumbled on a homeless guy?
Oh, that was me.
Oh.
Was that you?
Oh, wow.
We thought it was somebody else. You sure that was you?
See,
I don't know. I think I might have been sleeping here that night. I spent a lot of time.
Well, there was one guy that was here, was a salesperson, and I think you must have been thinking another time. Maybe it was you one other time. You've actually slept here, too?
Yeah.
What do you think of Traffic Girl?
Very, very pretty. Very pretty traffic.
What do you think of our wall?
It's even prettier.
I got to ask you a question before we let you go.
All right.
The jack wagons that come in here mess with our posters. Will you do us a favor and photograph them when they mess with them? I will give you a reward to help us bust who messes with
even
our
better.
posters.
Just kick their ass whenever you see them. Just beat them with your broomstick.
He looks like he could
Whoever
probably
comes
kick
in
some
here.
ass.
He's hardened in jail.
Well, listen, Keith. We'll let you come on a regular basis. We'll get an update from the building, see if there's anybody that's been broken into or anything like that, and I'll tell Garrett to be nicer to you next time.
See if you can turn the heat up, too.
I'll try.
All right, thank you. Now you got to get up and let Traffic Girl get back in there.
How you doing, Shan?
Shannon's birthday was Friday.
How about that?
Did you have a good birthday?
I did. I had a great weekend.
Big 3-7.
Well, tell us about your birthday. Like, how'd you celebrate?
Friday night I had a nice dinner. Saturday night I went out with my girlfriends, and yesterday I recovered and my mom made me a steak dinner. It was a nice weekend.
You know, she's being ambiguous and vague about the dinner.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Hot date. Where'd you guys go? Where'd he take you?
We went to get sushi.
What kind of car did he have?
Sushi.
Just wondering. These are all good questions. What did he? Trans Am.
Do you? Did you go to
El Camino?
Jack Stecklin's Cincinnati Sushi down in Covington?
No.
Jack's freaking warped, man. He's in Covington and he calls it Cincy Sushi. Cincy Sushi. My kids like sushi, and I hate sushi.
It's delicious. Do you like it, Garrett?
Yeah, sushi's good.
Sushi sucks.
Seafood is. You're not cultured. That's
I
what the
am too
problem
cultured,
is.
Man.
It's slaughtering cows on the farm. That's.
Lauren Marby of Lawton, Essex, has an IQ of 161. Einstein, Gates, and Hawking all have an estimated IQ of around 160. Marby likes to sing and hopes to study at Cambridge. Well, very good for you, Lauren. I hope that all works out for you. A study in the Journal of Pediatrics shows that when children watch programming that is educational, encourages empathy in favor of violence-filled programming, the children have reduced aggression towards others. That explains the way I am, because I watched the Waltons and Little House on the Prairie. That's all we were allowed to watch growing up. So that's why I am Nice young gentleman with no aggression towards anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. None whatsoever.
What? You got any traffic there, traffic gal?
No, it looks good.
What do you think of the music I'm playing today?
I loved Johnny Cash.
Isn't that a great song?
Yeah.
No, it's a terrible song.
I love that quote. There comes a white horse, upon him rode death, and hell followed with him.
Yeah, it's real
Tombstone.
uplifting quote right there.
It's freaking
Get
Monday.
started.
Hey, I'm the only one that's been in a good mood today. You're like downer, man.
Not down, I'm just tired. It's Monday. Stayed up all night drinking.
McCain says there's some senators, bipartisan, I hate that freaking word, I'm working on a package that they could come up with a background check. Mentally unbalanced criminals can be checked. Really. Senator Lindsey Graham says, let's take Obamacare and put it on the table. People are leaving the private sector because their companies can't afford to offer Obamacare. If you want to look at ways to find $1.2 trillion in savings, let's look at Obamacare. President Obama, he golfed with Tiger Woods in Florida Friday. The press was blocked with getting a photo op with the golf duo. Hey, Tiger, what's it like to date Lindsey Vonn? I thought Elon was pretty good. Jesse James.
Well, surprised he's dating her. She's got a broken leg there. Probably a little hard to do the no pants dance. Bump uglies when that's going on. You're in a full leg cast. I don't know. Maybe probably figures out a way. Tiger.
Yeah, like you couldn't figure out a way. Men figure out ways, as you know, as a man. Young man, but you're still a man every
Yeah.
You know what?
He played golf with like Butch Harmon too. He's like the best. He was Tiger's swing coach before they had their little breakup a few years ago.
Really?
Giving him some tips.
Tips. Everybody must get tips.
You golf?
Hell no.
Oh, I'm a great golfer.
Golfing
It's
sucks.
for rich people. Yeah,
Nah,
so
you know what
probably
golfing
wouldn't
is?
do it.
Golfing
That
is for
doesn't surprise
lawyers
me.
that doesn't have enough clients.
Yeah.
That's what golf is. Golf is for lawyers who do not have enough clients.
For people with an elite set of skills.
My dad's least favorite words: golf, divorce, and vacation. My dad's a wise man.
3 great things.
Do you know that human intelligence is on decline according to Natural Society? I believe freaking that.
What is?
They're blaming it on fluoride.
What's on a decline? I wasn't listening.
General intelligence. As you just
You just
I just exemplified there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, this is the 4 Tops. I don't think I've played the 4 Tops ever, and it's time to play some Motown. Baby, I need your lovin' on Class X Radio. Gentlemen, the American jury, there ain't a damn thing going on in the world, but that's okay. I'm always up to the challenge to entertain you and inspire you, despite a slow news week. Is there anything going on in traffic?
No, it's all clear so far.
Well, maybe that's because it's President's Day, and there's a lot of lazy people who don't work on President's Day, so therefore there's less traffic. Do you think that could be it?
I would say yes.
That's the way I look at it, too.
Could be the root of the problem. You just got down to it.
You know what's amazing is People Magazine even sucks this week. Lipstick. I was using lipstick for the last couple of weeks because my lips were chapped. And my wife...
Chapstick.
Chapstick, excuse me. Not lipstick, chapstick. My wife informed me that... I haven't slept. That's my excuse. My wife informs me that chapstick has some kind of chemical in it to keep your lips chapped, so you keep using chapstick. So I said, well, then I'm not going to use chapstick.
Full of crap.
My wife is?
Yes.
You think so?
Mary's full of crap. And here's why. You only need 1 tube of lip chapstick anyway for a whole winter, unless you throw it in the washer like I did like 6 times. Melted it. So I had to get new ones. That's where they get you. They expect you to leave it in your pants pocket, expect you to put it in the dryer, and expect you to have to buy a new pack. And then they sell them in 2 packs, so you have to buy 2 at once. And
Garrett,
you lose the other one.
Garrett, that is way
I've
too much information
I've thought about
chapstick.
this, all right?
Needed, all right?
Thought about it.
And it wasn't even relevant to the issue of whether or not it's got a chemical in it, which you obviously don't know. You're just guessing it doesn't have the chemical. And my wife finished 7th and her class at Simon Kenton High School, 7th. So I think she knows a little bit more about
First in the 6th grade spelling bee. First in the 6th grade spelling bee.
I won a spelling bee once, too, in the 6th grade.
Dude, no, I would outspell you any day of the week. Jake, set up a spelling bee.
Give us a word.
Give us a word.
Give us a word.
No, you have to give me one and then you one.
Yeah, give him a word.
Ooh, okay. Antelope.
You don't probably know it, but I do. Antelope.
That was easy. That was antelope.
Animal?
Come on, Jake, an antelope.
The
zoologist.
Oh, my God.
Doesn't know what an antelope
didn't
is.
An antelope was.
An antelope.
Jeez, old Pete.
Antelope.
I
I'm with
said,
Shannon here,
antelope.
Jay. You're being a little tough
We
on her.
missed this in sports.
Hey, hold on. You get a word now.
Somebody give me a word.
Xylophone.
Z-Y...
No.
No.
You don't.
Xylophone. Hold on a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah, you do get to.
You don't get to do that. Zylophone.
Is it no?
X.
Yeah, it's
You
an
wrote
X.
it right.
He wrote it right. You wrote it. You didn't say it.
I meant Z. I meant X. I meant X. James and Stackhouse drive the firing of NBA union boss Billy Hunter. Fired. He's under investigation. Did you know that, Mr. Sportsman? No. Because I read the New York Times sports page, I saved us.
Here we go.
How about this? Julian Newman, age 11, 4'5", 70 pounds, 6th grader. He's playing starting guard on his varsity team. Check that picture out, folks.
Must be a hell of a team.
How old is he?
He's in a 5th grade, and he freaking rocks it. He shoots.
That is pretty cool.
He shoots 200 free throws, 100 shots from every place on the floor. I mean, he's like a little practice hound.
Wow. Well, how many games they won? Probably none.
Something you missed.
Not into the sap stories.
Do you know
Tangible
why a
results.
girl's is the opposite of a guy's when it's cold?
What is the
Come
that's
on.
important to this story?
It's because they have muscles there that we don't have.
Oh, makes sense.
You didn't know that, did you?
My nips get hard too when it's cold
a reason-
out. I don't.
It's the reason why I read Maxim magazine is for things like that. And do you think this cracks me up? Alicia Cuthbert is not the hottest woman in the world.
Not even wall-worthy, I wouldn't say.
Heck no.
Not in that bathing suit.
That
Heck
is-
no.
it's not very
Class it
attractive.
up.
Overrated. I'm going to xylophone her. Did you hear about this local lawyer, Greg Cohen, who represented the Liz Carroll
This
and the
guy
Marcus
that
Faisal?
got bitch slapped.
He was charged with bribery and obstruction of justice.
Oh,
Wow.
different guy. I'm thinking of a different guy. Who's the
Innocent
guy that got
until
hit?
proven guilty. Oh, that was a public defender. Bam.
Is that like the job you get coming right out of college?
Yeah.
Public defender.
If you want it, yeah.
Ugh.
Get this in Kentucky, only in Kentucky. There's a nursing home bill which would make nursing homes less accountable. You know, if they screw up, all the Republicans voted for it, all the Democrats voted against it. You wonder why I'm not a Republican purist? Things like this. Let's make it easier for people to be abused in nursing homes. And all of the Republicans say, shame on them. What else do I have here? Oh, by the way, Duke has filed the lawsuit against the city of Cincinnati about the streetcar.
Good. I'm going to blow that trolley up as soon as they put
how
it in.
messed up is that,
Spark
man?
some dynamite in it.
I mean, it's just messed up. The old streetcar.
Stupid idea.
It is a totally stupid idea.
I could see, we were talking about this yesterday. I could see if you wanted to put a trolley with like the wheels on it to maybe go down by the
Round and
stadiums, up to the banks.
The trolley with the
casino
wheels
now.
go round and round.
Not one track that just goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth through our worst neighborhood.
It's an outrage. $23 million over budget. But what's going to be funny is when Duke wins their lawsuit, it'll cost us even more.
Because Duke knows they'll have to raise the price to make us pay for it. Doesn't want to do that.
All right. I'm not going to name the person that sent me this email, but this is a kind of lawsuit that is just too funny. All right. Now, I got this email, all right, from this person. On the evening of blank, my boyfriend and I went to blank. It was a strip club. I was having
the brass
listen to this. I was having a very good time standing by the stage when one of the dancers came up to me and without asking, removed my shirt. This was a little questionable for me, but I really didn't have a problem with it. She took it too far by grabbing the back of my underwear thong and literally ripping it out from underneath my pants in a very violent and somewhat painful way, like a wedgie. She then grabbed my hair, bent me over, pulled down my pants. Can you run away? Began smacking my underwear, which really wasn't enough to buy a new pair. Happened in front of everyone. Her manager gave me $20 to replace my underwear, which really wasn't enough to buy a new pair. And he was not apologetic at all. And he said it was up to the dancer to make it up to me. I am just appalled by this kind of behavior. The incident was very embarrassing and caused me pain in my crotch area. This is the third time I have been there. And during one of the previous visits, one of the dancers came up to me while on stage and asked permission to remove my clothing. Photos will be in the next email. There's more to this story.
You know what she's going to get herself?
What the hell? She lets them do all this stuff and wants to sue them.
Hey, Garrett, I think we should go in for investigation.
I think we
You want to
need
go undercover?
Yeah, and that lady got herself a lifetime ban from the brass ass. What happens at the brass ass stays at the BA. No questions asked. That's proper etiquette.
Oh, my God. Do you believe that?
Get it together. You're going to a strip club.
She
Pete.
wants to sue over that.
So she got a wedgie.
All right.
It's been worse.
What song do you got ready for me to play that you haven't told me you got? Huh? Good question.
Let me find what.
Jeez, old Pete, man.
Oh, we'll play. Jake, where's Rob Jungles?
Memphis Thing, baby. See, that's a soulful song. Anything happened in traffic since we last came to you, traffic girl?
No, not yet.
All right. This is Rob Jungles, Memphis Thing. Pound your feet on ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I give you Traffic Girl, even though it doesn't seem to be any traffic out there on this Friday, on this Monday. President's Day. Go ahead, Shannon.
In Cincinnati, there's
That's
an
you,
accident on
Shannon.
471 northbound at the Daniel Carter Beer Bridge.
All right.
Horrible.
You know,
Horrible report.
I gotta tell everybody a funny story. Saturday night, I needed some things from Staples. I love going to Staples like a kid at Christmas. You know, I get my stickums, and I get my pins, and I get my legal pads and everything else.
Wow, you are an old bastard. Saturday night at Staples.
Yeah.
And
my wife needed some ink cartridge. It wasn't like late night. It was like, late afternoon. Anyway,
10 p.m.
We run into this young kid that wanted to be on radio, and he works there. And he knows my wife because he's friends with my stepsons. And anyway, she immediately said, "Yeah, you could do traffic."
Mary, thanks.
You know what? Isn't that shameful, Shannon? She voted to replace you like immediately with this kid from Staples. All right, now I got to ask you guys: are you all familiar with Joanna Krupa?
No, but if that's her, I'm about to be.
This is from Maxim. This is the Maxim housewife of Miami or something like that. So I was just wondering if she's worthy of the wall.
She's pretty wall-worthy.
Check out the other one.
There you go.
Yeah. Post away. Yeah, very wall-worthy. What's her name? Who gives it?
Joanna Krupp. Meet the real-life Tony Stark in Maxim magazine.
Oh, look how they made the O here. In Supermodel.
What do you think they're trying to say? And this is funny. See, Maxim magazine's got an article here called "There's No Cure for Stupid." Boy, that is true, isn't there? There is no cure for stupid.
Yeah, thank God I was not born stupid.
I agree.
It's tremendous.
Who wants to be born stupid?
No.
You know what?
Nobody.
Nobody. You know the only good thing about Mondays is Mondays we're all in it together, aren't we? I mean, Mondays just suck, but we're all in it together. We all have to go through Monday.
Okay, you know what I started doing on Mondays?
What'd you start doing on Mondays?
Not giving a damn. It's like every other day of the week.
Well, you know what?
Treat it like a Friday.
You know what? It is power in not giving a damn.
Yeah, there is.
There really is. There's power in saying, I don't give a damn. All right. Did you see Dr. Ben Carson, the black pediatric neurosurgeon at Johns Hopkins University, who at last week's National Prayer Breakfast took freaking...
Yes.
Oh, it was beautiful. And you know what? That guy does not rule out a political future.
That guy
That guy ought to run for president, baby.
You're not kidding.
He just, with Obama sitting 2 people from him.
Did you see that?
He just pointed out all the problems with America, the debt, Obamacare, killing incentive, on and on and on.
Education, he touched on.
Education.
He and Obama didn't clap one time.
No, he just looked at him.
Yeah.
He said afterwards, Obama said, "Oh, I enjoyed your speech." But
That guy's a real well-known. He's from Baltimore.
Yes.
My aunt and uncle are rich as hell. They lived in Baltimore. Know the guy. Just going to events and stuff together. Said he's just awesome. And they hope he does run for president. They're the ones that hosted Mitt Romney's thing.
How come there's people like you that when somebody does something like really famous, you got to act like you know somebody that knows them?
Well, it's, 6 degrees of separation in this case.
I
two,
got a cousin.
2 degrees.
No.
I basically know the guy. Pretty good friends.
One of my wife's best friend, Vicky, used to live in Baltimore, and I think she probably knows that guy.
It's my aunt and uncle. No, they've... I don't know his house.
This Saturday down at the Madison, February 23rd, there is a Beatles Rolling Stone contest. The Stones and the Beatles are going to play one song, then one song, back and forth. Battle the bands. And we're all supposed to be there.
Yeah, guess where I won't be?
I hate to say this, but
there.
man, I can't. I work so hard. I don't want to go out anywhere. Ever.
You live a miserable existence.
No, I don't. Have you ever heard the story about, there's this guy that made his living writing business cards, and he wrote this little book of advice. And one of the things that he wrote, I love this little book. Everybody ought to read it and memorize it. And one of the things that he talked about is the people who are really, really filthy, freaking rich, who changed the world, didn't go out. They stayed at home working on their thing. Just saying. Losers, my
I'll
butt.
be in South Bend. I can't go, Bill. Sorry.
Just because you go to freaking Bearcat games every day.
I don't play every day.
Coming up next week,
every 5th day.
We're going to have a guest on. This is kind of a funny story. Sad but funny. She is a victim of a squatter. Somebody who acted like they were buying their house and didn't and moved in, then wouldn't move out. A $500,000 home. And they do this for a living. They go from house to house to house. Squatters, they call them. It's an idea out there for any of you that are unemployed. Bulldog Nation member Catherine. All right? I love this lady. Apparently, this is the new home security system. You go to Goodwill and buy a pair of size 14 to 16 men's work boots. You placed them on the front porch along with a copy of Guns and Ammo magazine. You put 4 giant dog dishes next to the boots and magazines, and you leave a note on the door that reads, Bubba, me, Marcel, Donnie Ray, and Jimmy Earl went for more ammo and beer. Be back in an hour. Don't mess with the pit bulls. They got the mailman this morning and messed him up bad. I don't think Killer took part, but it was hard to tell from all the blood. Anyway, I locked all 4 of them in the house. Better wait outside. Be right back. That's funny.
Nice job, Catherine.
Signed Cooter. I like that. Oh, you got the song right. About time you're on the ball.
Yeah, I know.
You can listen to radio on your smartphone. Tune in radio app ClassX. You can also listen to us every morning on 88.9 and 89.1. You can also call us at 513-201-8891. I don't know if my wife was right about that chapstick, because I need some chapstick.
Told you. I got a stick right here in my pocket.
Mm.
If I ever need it. Not going to let you have any.
If you ever need it. You know Walt Disney was scared of mice? Isn't that funny? Mickey Mouse, Minnie
That's how
Mouse.
you overcome your fears. You
All
deal
right.
with them.
I'll give any of you $20 if you can name Bugs Bunny's first name. Damn.
Peter.
I can tell you, right, Bugs Bunny sure is better than this. Happy Rabbit.
I know. I don't think I've ever even heard that.
Do you know how long it took to film Wayne's World?
Like 3 years? Or
2 weeks. They filmed Animal House in 2 weeks, too.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
The soldiers of Alexander the Great were obligated to be clean-shaven so that their enemies were not able to grab their beards. Makes sense. And you know that Reva Steenkamp, who Oscar shot and killed? She was scheduled to give a speech on abusive relationships to teenagers at a high school in South Africa the day she was killed.
Wow, really? That's
Yep.
pretty ironic.
Yep. No comment from you on sport. I got to pick up the slack from you in sports. Homer Bailey.
Give me something. Throw something at me.
Signed 1 year, $5.35 million deal.
I think that's a pretty good move by the Reds because you get him. He's coming off finally a really good season. He put on a lot of weight and then stayed healthy all of last year. If he can do that one more time, give him a long-term deal. Finally.
Homer is set for life.
You know, when Homer Bailey was coming up, he was like the best pitcher in baseball.
Yep.
He was the best prospect coming out of college.
Yep. But then something happened.
You know where he's from?
He's from,
LaGrange, Texas.
Texas.
I kind of like those arrows he has on his forearms, though.
Has he got arrows?
Tats.
You got tats?
But he's
a bigger guy. He's put on some weight.
He's a jerk.
He's a jerk?
He's a jerkhead.
Really?
I was going to say something else.
Really?
He's a jerk.
Well, you would know. Your behind-the-scenes knowledge of these things.
Good move, 1 year deal. I think they got Heisey on a 1 year deal.
Aroldis Chapman, will he be a starting pitcher or not?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
You're paying him too much to. But that's another one. You ought to go read the, I think it was USA Today. It was the Cincinnati Magazine did a real long piece on him. Mm-hmm. The Reds don't allow him to do interviews, feature articles, anything like that. And they tell other major league teams to not let their players do interviews about Aroldis Chapman. That guy's got some big-time issues, and it's going to come out. It's going to blow up one of these days. Once his stardom reaches that level, he's trouble.
He is.
Aroldis Chapman is trouble.
Like that incident at the hotel?
The hotel thing with the stripper, that was weird. You never got the full story behind that. Stripper tied up in his bedroom. Some guy comes in to rob. That was weird.
You shouldn't have strippers in your bedroom.
The whole thing of how he defected here. Did you hear about that?
Yes.
He basically ratted out two of his buddies back home, and they're in jail, and he's
Yep.
making $30 million up here with a Lambo.
All you Reds fans, I apologize for Garrett's remarks about your superstars. This is Amos Lee behind me now on ClassX Radio. This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, traffic is slow because it's President's Day. What do you got there, Shannon?
In Cincinnati, there's an accident on I-471 northbound at the Daniel Carter Beer Bridge.
All right. Those of you that are Catholic, here's some news that might be of interest to you. According to Peggy Noonan's column in the Wall Street Journal, in the past conclaves, there's always been the idea that America's superpower status constituted a kind of veto over the choosing of an American pope. America's so formidable, we're not going to give her the papacy, too. You don't hear that anymore, the historian said, because people don't see us as a superpower anymore. An American pope is possible, though unlikely. Can you imagine if the Doolin from New York City became a pope? Man, that would be cool. No American's ever been a pope. I turned it down last time. I didn't think I was holy enough. Do you got your animal fact ready for today?
That's a negative.
Well, when are you going to have it ready?
Yeah, later.
Nice. Should we ask that cleaning guy Keith to come in and do it?
Yeah, see if he knows something about some animals.
Probably knows something about raccoons.
That's funny. He didn't know.
He's got to get out of
It's funny he didn't know about antelope.
Yeah, how do you not know what an
I
antelope?
thought she said antelope. I'm sorry, Shannon. like.
Sure you did. Can we give Oracle status to my
know
godfather, Larry Grouse, on his 73rd birthday yesterday?
Sure can.
You jackwagon!
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know, that's not funny when you do that.
You've been awarded Oracle status.
It's very insulting.
Larry knows I'm just kidding. Larry, happy birthday.
Hey, how about this? John Kasich's budget proposal includes sales tax on legal services. Uh-oh. Now they're messing with lawyers. You watch all the lawyers band together against that one. How dare they tax us? Our goods and services are untaxable because we're lawyers. I'm on a freaking rampage against lawyers. I really am. I mean, I'm telling you right now, they're sharp. By the way, I don't know what it's like in your profession, but this is the way it is in my profession. The Bar Association preaches that there should be civility and there should be kindness and there should be professionalism towards each other. And then what happens is some jackwagon lawyer does something that is, for lack of a better word, completely dishonest, completely wrong, completely unprofessional and unethical. And they do so while they're being nice to you, like, hi, how you doing? Like they act like they just didn't try to screw you. And then when you call them on it and fire back, they're like, I can't believe that you would threaten me. You would do these on. It cracks me up. One of the most phoniest professions in the world, the legal profession. There's so few people that shoot straight, call it straight. Of course, I am one of them. I mean, don't you hate it in the radio business? All of the, over at the other place, all the freaking phoniness. Acting like we're supposed to all get together. Remember, like going to Willie's and everybody goes to the event there, and everybody's supposed to meet with each other and learn to know a little bit more about each other.
Yeah, you know how I got around that?
Then they fire everybody.
I never went. I was at work, so I was never at that stuff. The best part about working nights there, I never had to see any of those morons.
Yeah.
I had like 4 or 5, it was like me, Seg, Crumley.
At the one event they had at Willie's, I remember I sat with Daryl Parks talking about a business idea that I also presented to him. I said, hey, would you be interested in getting on? Oh, yeah.
I hate that guy.
That's what he did to me.
Did we play that song already?
I also got to talk to you about insurance. No, we did not play it. My basement, of course, had a flooding problem, and we got it fixed, or we're getting it fixed. And I swear to goodness, the people that were chosen by the insurance company to fix it give us this one big thing, $5,800. And my wife says, $5,800? That's an awful lot of money. He goes, we have a limit here on what we can spend under our insurance. And the guy goes, oh, I didn't know you had an insurance limit. In other words, I'm going to sock it to you and your insurance company. But because I didn't realize you had an insurance limit. Every single day. Oh, here's another thing that happens. In my profession, these days, lawyers that bill by the hour are so desperate for billable clients. So desperate for billable clients that they don't want to settle anything. I mean, they could have a case like the doctor sawed off the leg of somebody when they were in for a tonsillitis to take their tonsils out, but they cut off their leg instead. The insurance company, the doctor, and the defense attorneys would say, well, you should have told us that you were in there for tonsillitis and just take your tonsils out, so it's your fault. I mean, I'm telling you, I deal with this every single day. Nobody wants to accept responsibility. David versus Goliath. If it sounds like I'm whining, it's because I am. least I'm honest about it. Right? Right, Shannon? At least I'm honest about it.
Right.
Do you ever whine in your profession, in the hair profession? Oh, here's Charlie Ann has had, like, people schedule a coloring.
Yeah.
And they just don't
They
show
don't
up.
show up. Yeah, that happens.
They don't
a
even
lot.
call. And don't say, I mean, how terrible is that?
Yeah, because it takes all that time off your book. Then you
Lady-
just sit there.
Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, if you need a great haircut, a great perm, a great style, a great hair wash, a great Brazilian wax, a great shave, a great whatever.
Great clips.
Wait a minute, no, wait. You can find information about. Remember?
Greatclips.org.
No.
Oh.
You can
No.
find information about Seven
Oh, you're talking about Shannon.
Heaven,
Okay.
Charlie Ann Deters. Charlie Ann Deters at 7 Heaven.
Or you could come see me at Identity. Either one.
You can get information.
Information.
Don't promote
Seeing
yourself.
you
You could get
You
information.
could get information.
At identity.com.
Yes.
All right.
I think I'm going to go to Identity next time.
You are? You going to come see me?
Yep.
What a bunch of
For your
suck-ups.
Brazilian wax, Garrett.
For my Brazilian.
All right.
For my bikini wax.
Okay.
It is bikini.
How much does Brazilian wax cost?
I don't do them. I don't know. I think they're about 60.
$60? Son of a bee sting.
For complete smoothness.
Yeah. Guaranteed smooth.
Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, the anti-lawyer lawyer, yours truly, will just keep fighting these battles. And this is Chris Isaac. Have we played Chris Isaac before? I don't know if we have.
I don't know if we have either.
I like Chris Isaac. He's a cool dude, man. Remember, the theme today is soul kind of music, you know? This is Only the Lonely on ClassX Radio. It's the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, it's President's Day, and there's not very much traffic. But we'll go to Shannon, the traffic girl, anyway, and ask, is there any traffic?
There is an injury accident on Red Bank Road at Coleraine Avenue.
We don't like
That's
injury
it.
accidents.
A terrific report, Shannon.
Thank you. There's not much today.
That's good.
Thanks.
Did you
How's your date on Friday? Where'd you guys go?
We went for sushi. It
That's
was
right.
great.
Where did you go for sushi?
Was that Long John Silver's?
No. It's a sushi restaurant in Eastgate. I don't remember the name.
What did you do after sushi?
We had a couple drinks
Where'd you have your drinks?
Yeah.
in Newport.
Went down
Brass
from
ass?
No.
Did you guys go to the BA?
No, we did not.
Great place to have drinks. Where'd you go in Newport? Bar Louie?
No, we went
Bulldogs?
to...
You and Molly's?
No, but I saw it still. Sign's still there.
Sign's still up there,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Good old Bulldogs. I'm getting free advertising from that sign. I need to put Bulldog the lawyer.
Your phone number right there.
That's right.
You know how many drunk people you get just calling you up? They walk by your sign on...
Do you guys ever fear about an asteroid or a meteor hitting us?
Nah,
I don't either. I really don't.
not going to happen, is it?
I think the odds are pretty,
They seem pretty
high.
low.
High.
Although it happened the other day in Russia.
Yeah.
Poor bastards.
But you know what, though? When it does happen, the way I look at it is we will, nuke it. We'll send a nuke out
Right.
there to knock it off.
And then everybody will be praising us for saving the world.
That's right. We'll save the world. It'll be because of us.
Shoot a good old
that the world is
USA
saved.
bomb right up there.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Saw Bond last night.
You did? Skyfall?
Yeah.
That's
Is it
been
good?
out for a while. About
was all
time. I like Skyfall.
I don't watch movies.
Skyfall was good. Why'd you see a movie last night? No football
Right.
and no basketball?
Yeah, pretty much. No sports on. Except the All-Star game. I don't watch that garbage.
The
So I
All-Star
watched
game.
Skyfall. Man, that villain guy is creepy.
Yeah, that guy
isn't he
was.
He played
creepy.
a good villain.
Yeah, he played a good villain, but a creepy villain.
Bond girls, yeah, when he took out his jaw. Bond girls, not hot.
Nah, you're right. I agree.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think Halle Berry's that good looking. I know
No,
she
she's
wasn't in
not.
this one, but she was a Bond girl past.
What do you think of
I
Middletown?
think Shannon should be a Bond girl.
I would love to be a Bond girl.
What do you think
That'd be
about?
fun.
What do you think about Middletown naming their gym after old Jerry Lucas Friday night?
Yeah, as well they should. Isn't he the only coach to win titles on high school, college, and in the pros.
You mean player? I don't know, but is that what he did?
Yeah, pretty sure that's his
Wow.
kind of claim to fame.
That's pretty incredible. Jerry Lucas, Middletown. That's a pretty big
He wants
gym.
to have a movie made after him, doesn't he?
Well, he could with all that.
Or about what I read is he wanted to have a movie made about Middletown, but basically about him, because he's the only good thing that
He's
came
kind
out
of
of
Middletown.
Middletown.
Is that what you're saying?
Middletown's a trash heap. Been
It
up
is?
there? Oh, don't take clients from Middletown.
Don't take clients from
They're
Middletown.
low grade.
I can tell you this.
No money up there.
A bunch of the wrecker services, towing services wanted to hire me. So there was
Don't
corruption.
do it. Those guys are. They
they
piss me
mobs?
off, man.
Are they
When I was in
mobs?
Clifton, they'd tow your car.
Middletown? What's Middletown got to do with Clifton?
Well, I'm just saying, tow truck companies in general. It's hillbillies, God.
I want to tell you something,
They're
Jake.
like Wildman Walker. Wildman Walker, if he didn't do radio, he would be a tow truck driver. Saying he fits him, suits
If he
him.
wore his ClassX radio shirt, though, we wouldn't care.
Yeah, doesn't even fit in it.
I wanted Jake.
Just sew together
Jake, you've done an
bed
outstanding job.
Thank you.
Arranging the posters for Maximum Room.
Thank you.
Now, do you got an animal fact? Have we gone to the animal fact yet?
I'm ready. I'm going to ask you guys a question.
Okay.
I'll get it.
So there are about 640 muscles in the
A
human
frog.
body.
A frog.
How many are in an elephant's trunk? 640 human body, elephant trunk. How many?
3,000.
60,000.
10,000.
40,000. So you're
Wow.
pretty
Yeah, baby! Yeah, I'm smart.
just in the trunk alone.
I know everything almost. I was only off 20,000. You guys were off like 40,000.
Well, Shannon was off 20,000 too.
Oh, she didn't. She said 10.
She said, did you say 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes her off 30,000.
30,000.
You guys are always trying to take up for Traffic Girl. Like giving her a break. Like she needs one.
She does a great job, Eric.
She goes through life, just life handed to her as Traffic Girl. Hey, have you noticed that
kicking
since you
me, too.
became
I think
Traffic
it's
Girl, Shannon,
thing.
that you get requests for autographs? People ask you
All the
for
time.
photographs now
Oh my
with
gosh.
you.
Yes.
Is it just your career's taken off
Oh my God. As soon as I walk
Traffic Girl on our
outside.
show?
Yeah.
There's a mob out there.
I'll bet
There's
you-
paparazzi.
Like
It's
Beatlemania.
crazy.
I'll bet you are much more popular than Wildman.
Yeah, I guess so.
How come this sports ride doesn't ask you to be on there?
I don't know.
You ought to
That's
talk to
because
your
Ken Brew is a
You ought to talk
moron.
to your buddy. You ought to talk
Who
to
the
your
hell
buddy.
would have Wildman Walker on their TV show?
I know.
Are you kidding me?
I know.
Hey, let's get Wildman Walker because no one else in this city is available. Not one single person can do afternoon television because they tape that thing at like 3, 4 o'clock.
Oh
something.
yeah. By the way, folks,
Or they get the Wizard
I've been
of
on
Kenwood,
it.
that fat
it
ass
is. It's
sag.
taped in the afternoon. It's not taped that late at night. You're right. You hit the nail on the head. It's a fake show.
I remember Brew used to come into work and he'd just
And those
get
guys
done
even
taping it.
Vogel and Brew even use teleprompters.
You ever seen Seg on there?
Yeah.
It's the Wizard of Kenwood.
Yeah.
Oh my! That is. I mean, you talk about cheesy television,
Cheesy television.
just local TV.
It looked like
That is the epitome.
It looks like cheesy local.
You know who
TV.
does a good
the
job?
Wizard of Kenwood.
Wizard of Kenwood. They got him in a little dunce cap and everything.
The guy from Channel 5 does a good job.
That is 5, 9.
Yeah.
Like Popovich.
No, well, Popovich doesn't know. Who's Andy? Andy, the guy that they have on a lot.
Andy Furman.
No,
Andy.
the young guy. He does a good job. Mo sucks when he's on there.
Yeah.
What's happened to Mo? Mo has changed in the last couple of years.
Well, he got a divorce.
I used to like Mo, and now he's freaking like he's angry. He got
Actually,
a
I don't know
divorce.
if that's public knowledge.
well,
I probably shouldn't say that.
no,
I'm pretty good friends with Mo, but
Well,
yeah.
that explains it right there.
Yeah.
Did his wife leave him? Too much radio hours?
No. I think it was the other way around. actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he pouring out Brandy Schrader?
No. He's. I think he's living downtown now. Living downtown. They used to have a nice. Because when I was over at Mo's house when they had when I was an intern, that's how I got my start with Mo.
Right.
So we went over had a big party at his house. He let me drink. It's underage.
Our DIVORC becomes legal today. Didn't know I could do Loretta Lynn too, along with my Bill
I gotta
Clinton.
find a damn song, don't I? What do you want to play here? Let's play something
Play
that
the
doesn't
next song.
suck.
The next song doesn't suck. I picked out winners today. What's next on my list?
Might be a little Helen. No.
No.
Righteous Bros.
Gotta love Righteous Brothers. My soul and inspiration on ClassX Radio. It's the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. Shannon, what do you got in traffic, if anything?
An injury accident on Bank Road at Coleraine Avenue.
Coleraine Avenue. All right. You guys are going to have your first date now that Valentine's and your birthday's over. Where are you going to go on your first date?
Shannon?
Yes.
Where you want to go? UC game?
Yes. Let's go to UC game. That'd be fun.
There you have it. Dog.
A UC game.
UC game. Or maybe go to the
UC.
brass
How old
ass.
were you when you went on your first date?
2 weeks ago, so I was 24.
Shannon, how about you?
16.
16. Good. That's good.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed.
And you're
Yeah.
sweet 16.
I was 15.
What was your first car, Shannon? Thunderbird?
It was a LeBaron, a
Camaro?
94 convertible LeBaron.
Chrysler
It
LeBaron.
was red.
Oh, yeah, you were styling
I
now.
was
What was your
styling.
first car, dog?
A 72 Nova.
That's a horrible car. I had a,
Mercedes.
LX200. Just came out my when I turned 16, between my sophomore and junior year of high school. Pretty fly car. But it was
Really
just
nice
on,
to know.
it's par for the course on Anderson. Everybody has those.
Funny.
I'm just saying.
I slowly moved up. I had a 72 Nova. Then I had a Cutlass Supreme. And then I had a white Toronado, which is kind of like a Cadillac. It's kind of like a pimp car. I had that through law
Real
school.
long.
Yeah, real long thing.
Sagging in the back.
Absolutely. I got a big old Toronado, baby. Riding in style through law school.
Yeah.
I forget the first time I got a new car. Then I had a turbo Audi that I bought from Matt Tobin's wife. That sucker could hum.
Yeah.
Took it out on Easter one time, and I got 130 on Interstate 71 down at Verona. And I said, I'm scared. I stopped.
I'm scared.
I just wanted to see what it could do, and it had more to go, baby. It could have
Really?
just kept on going. You know, weird how we
I've
love
never been
speed.
big into speed. I don't,
I've been into speed.
I don't mind going fast.
Speed like and going fast.
I'll speed on the highways and stuff, but I'm not like, let's go get my car, see how much I can get it up to. You hillbillies. Rag racing.
Remember the nice lady, Precious Allen, we had on
Yeah,
Friday?
she's great.
Yeah.
Her daughter's case was called in juvenile court, shortly after our radio show. And the prosecutor came out. I said, well, what's the status of things? Well, it's set for trial. I said, oh, really? Oh, we don't have anything. So they moved it to trial till next week. And it's so funny because they're claiming, the police and everybody claiming, like everybody says, nah, that girl, that lady that was in here is full of beans. That nothing that she said was true. Do you believe that? I don't believe that at all.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
I think the school, the police, and of course the bully's friends have formed an alliance of conspiracy. But of course it'll be revealed.
Maybe I should go over to that school after.
Mondays are one of the most busiest days in my profession. I mean, they're killers, especially I stay up all night. Well, today's even worse because I got a Deters Company / Snappy Tomato Pizza board meeting at 5 o'clock. God, I don't even feel like going. We have them like twice a month. But, man, you have a long day. The last thing you want to do is go sit in a room with your brothers, your sister, your dad, and argue about stuff.
Yeah. Where do you guys have that? Is that at one of the locations?
Out at the corporate headquarters in Burlington.
They don't make the pizza there,
And I think completely different than everybody. I mean, I just think different. Right or wrong, I just see everything different than all they do. Like, I want us to take Snappy Tomato Pizza, the brand, and make it like freaking
Global.
national, huge, big, and everybody else is like cautious. I'm not very cautious. I'm either going to be filthy rich or bankrupt. I can handle either.
All or nothing. That's what I like about you.
I can handle either. I really can.
I'm going to come get some free pizza and tell them I know you.
Say, hey.
I'm going to hold up a Snappy Tomato Pizza.
Part of my pet peeve is they don't even sponsor the show. That's an outrage.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's an outrage.
Just sponsored by
bring
bringing
that up
in
tonight.
pizzas.
Yeah.
You want to go to? Hey,
At 6 in the morning?
Yeah, Shannon, at 6 in the morning.
At 6 in the
We're going to go to a Snappy Tomato on our first date.
I
Oh,
love
by the
Snappy
way,
Tomato.
I got to tell a funny story about my first car date. First car date was the junior homecoming or I forget, I guess it was the senior homecoming. And I took Robin Stoppleworth, who's now named Robin Berger. And she was cute. Of course, I couldn't drive. I was 15. Neither could Dan Meyer. So Dan Meyer's brother drove us in this big old station wagon. And we picked her up, took her to the dance. It was at the drawbridge, I think. Anyway, took her home, walked her to the door. I just closed my eyes and went in for a kiss. And I swear to God, I kissed her on the freaking nose. My first kiss,
Idiot.
My first kiss was Robin's nose. All right, fast forward years later. I'm at the old law firm. I was a law clerk, law student. They said, "Hey, Eric, did you meet the new girl?" "No, I meet the new girl." There she was, Robin.
No way.
And I started laughing, and I just told everybody, I said, "I kissed her on the nose."
Did she remember?
Hell yeah, she freaking remembered. I kissed her on the nose. Her parents, her brothers, sisters are all sitting there watching me kiss her on her nose.
No way.
Absolutely.
What did she say about it? Was she like...
She thought it was funny.
Did she like it?
No,
Did you like it?
No, she thought it was funny, but she was polite.
How come she didn't kiss back?
And by the way, Robin she was kind of a skinny blonde. She turned out to be a voluptuous blonde.
Fatty, wasn't she?
Her husband, Jeff, did well. Good girl.
For Jeff.
She's a good girl, Robin.
She still work for you?
No. I don't know whatever happened to Robin Berger, but Robin and Jeff, if you're out there, you could just know that I said kind words about you. I kissed her on the nose, though, baby.
Robin Cheese
Just closed my
Burger.
eyes. Just closed my eyes and went in and right on the freaking nose. I walked away like, oh my God.
You at least have to hone in on it and then close your eyes.
Well, I didn't do that.
You don't just close them and go in blind.
So my first date was a guy's
Shannon, I won't do
brother
that. We start making out on the first date.
Driving around in a station wagon, and I kissed her on the nose. That's how my first date went with her.
Well, it all worked out in the end.
Yeah. Never went out with her again.
Never mind. Didn't work out in the end.
Well, maybe it did. She found Jeff. Life goes on. Isn't it amazing how things that you're embarrassed about when you get older, you don't care? It's so funny. I mean, I could care less now, but at the time I was mortified.
I don't have any flaws.
When I was a bedwetter, I was mortified. Now I don't give a dang.
Oh, yeah, I can't believe you wet the bed,
Oh,
man.
you
That's
shut
embarrassing. Oh, man. I used to crap my pants up until 3 weeks ago.
Jeez,
yeah.
Have you ever done that running?
Finally.
I've done that before.
Oh,
jogging,
yeah.
You're jogging, and all of a sudden, pow.
Okay, my brother, the one that went to Notre Dame,
it's
right?
It's just like, well, I'm going to run real fast till I get home.
My brother, the one that went to Notre Dame,
we
roomed
apologize
with the guy.
for this programming.
Horrible.
This is great. This is great. Everybody craps their pants.
At least once in life.
Yeah. He roomed with the guy on the Notre Dame track or whatever team.
Hurry up so I can play a song.
And I'll take my sweet ass time, thank you, as second console. My brother asked him one time, he's like, "What do you do when that happens? I mean, that's got to happen to you runners all the time."
Change your underwear.
2 pairs of socks.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You use the one.
Oh my God. Ladies and
Wipe
gentlemen, the
your
American
ass.
Jury, we'll get this show back on track when we come back. This is Mark Knopfler and Emmy Lou Harris. This is us on ClassX Radio. On ClassX Radio, ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury. It's President's Day. Traffic has been slow. Everything else has been slow. But not us. We're fast. We're fast. We're hot to trot. What do you got going in traffic there, traffic girl?
There's an injury accident on Bank Road at Coleraine Avenue.
Man, do you see that Joe Dirt guy, cleaning guy, Keith, wiping that window down?
I was gonna say,
Look at
he
that,
was
man.
doing the blinds earlier.
Looks like he's stoned as he's cleaning that glass.
I don't blame him. I'd be.
You
I had
think
that crap job.
You think most cleaning people
By the way, toilets are a little dirty.
Do they do it stoned, do you think? You think they do?
Well, it's a mindless job. You're a
Mindless?
custodian.
Mindless.
We used to always make fun of the custodians in high school.
Yeah,
Of
why
course
do you
you did.
All work is noble.
That's great.
No, all work is noble. Why do you think they hate Bill Clinton so much? Don't they realize we don't like Bill Clinton either? We use him for a joke. And we like him because he's got good material. I don't know why Bulldog, they just keep taking me down. I don't understand it.
Talk to Gary
I told
about
him,
this.
I told him I could hook him up with some blue dress girls. They don't like it. You got any more facts over there, Jake? Your show sucked today. I just want you to know. All right, well, you got another animal fact?
There's actually no animal called a black panther. There's no such thing. It's either a black jaguar or a black leopard.
A panther is a panther is a panther.
Panthers aren't black.
It's just an organization.
No.
You're witty today. I have to give you that, man.
Always am, aren't I?
Panthers.
Always on top of it.
That'd just be cool to be a. Was there any white people in the Black Panthers?
I'm going to doubt it.
Pretty cool, wasn't it?
You know? Like Clayton Bigsby or anything like that?
Same as our black person in KKK.
I don't know. Clayton Bigsby was.
That's true, yeah.
Clayton
Bigsby was one.
That's
the
right.
Black white supremacist.
Rick James and Charlie Murphy. He hit him in the forehead in this one show. He had a unity ring, and he hit him, so he had a unity in his forehead.
Did you ever see that picture? It kind of resurfaced a few months ago, but it was taken back in like the 70s. And it was just like a kid, really good photo, just a kid like walking up to a Ku Klux Klan member at a rally and like looking up to him, and he had his hand out or something to this guy, and like the KKK guy was just like looking down. I forget if it was a black kid or not. I think it was just a white kid. He was just kind of looking at him, and I'm going to look that picture up and show you. Because otherwise, you guys...
He's just looking at him and saying, what? What is your point?
Hold on, let me look the damn thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sitting there thinking to myself,
good picture!
And your point is... I don't know. I'm telling you right now, I don't know. You sure you want to go to a UC Bearcat game with him, Shannon?
I don't know. I'm starting to doubt it.
Hey, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Wow, don't type in KKK and kid, because apparently there are kid members of the Klan there.
Kids.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what? They are. If you watch the movie Django Unchained, the funniest scene in the movie is when Don Johnson is the leader of a group of KKK people, and they're on their horses, and they're having a debate and a fight over the eyes in their hoods, whether they could see or not. And one of the people that you ought to find that clip if it's out there. One of the guys' wives made the holes, but they weren't done right, so he quits, and they're all complaining whether they should wear the hoods or not wear the hoods. It's hilarious. By the way, it was meant to be hilarious, too. You're supposed to laugh at it. They're jackwagons, Ku Klux Klan in this movie. Django Unchained.
I gotta see that movie.
Oh, you got to see it.
Good.
They take the horrors of slavery, romance, and action, and put in a comedy all in one. I mean, it's genius. Jake, you're dying to say something over there. You got a Ku Klux Klan fact?
Yes. Look at that picture.
I don't know.
You know what they did? You know what they did is they formed in Indiana. Well, they didn't form in Indiana. They were in the South. But Indiana, they got really big at the turn of the century. They had even a political power, elected a governor. And then the head of it went down, because he committed murder and corruption, and down they went.
Wasn't too long ago, the KKK, they always buy up the highway, the stretch of highway, so they clean it or whatever. And that way they can put the KKK sign up. It's like, this highway is clean because of the Knights of whatever.
See this guy right here, Nathan Bedford Forrest?
No.
He was the greatest cavalry officer general in the Civil War. He was the first imperial wizard of the KKK after the war, and he quit because he decided they were too violent and too big of jackwagons, and he quit.
Good for him.
Good.
Nathan Bedford. Look at that. Can you imagine that guy looking at you, man? He'd say, boo, I think I'd pee my pants. Nathan Bedford Forrest was
kick that guy's ass.
Was a badass, man. In the Battle of Shiloh, they were surrounded and trapped. They were getting shot from both sides, and he had 2 or 3 horses shot from underneath him, and he grabbed Union soldiers, dead soldiers, threw them up and used them as shields, and rode out and made it alive. His nickname was the Devil. You know you're feared when your nickname is the Devil or the Bulldog. You know, the Devil Forrest, the Bulldog, it both scares the hell out of you. It was funny in that Brookville that showroom at Jim True Ford yesterday. All these people were coming to meet with me to give me their 2 cents worth on this case. And they said, I know who you are, Bulldog.
Did people ask you for autographs?
I got fans in Brookville. Oh,
you say, back off, hillbillies.
Saturday, I had a guy come to the office all the way from Fairfield, and he wanted he was a tough-looking dude. I mean, he was like He was a truck driver. He wanted an autographed picture. I didn't have any.
You remember
I
that?
said, "You want to take a picture?" No, I want one of his autograph. I said, "Well, I don't have any, so I got to get some pictures, I guess, to autograph."
You remember that time we were at LW and I was producing your show, and some fat hillbilly of a garbage man. You talk about a low life job.
You need to respect people more. Why can't you be respectful?
Called up the studio and he's like, "Hey man, I'm down here in like the garage picking up the dumpsters. Can I come up and get Bulldog's autograph?" And I was like, "Yeah,
That
sure."
is right. He did.
Remember that?
He
Big,
did. I do remember that.
Greasy looking.
That was
guy,
awesome.
Yeah.
Was
So
an
we
honor.
shook his hand. And I washed him real quick, and then
You think anybody ever did that with Mark Amazon? Hell no.
no. Sent death threats to Mark Amazon.
You know what?
That's what I got.
What I made fun of him. They said Amazon. What did I call? I made fun of him. How did I make fun of him? I used the word Amazon to do something. I forget. He was
The Fenster.
He was funny though. He said one thing that was funny. He goes, the Bulldog's doing a radio show out of a treehouse. I admit I laughed my ass off at that one. That was freaking good, man.
Yeah. He's got some funny stuff.
I mean, that was a great analogy of a smaller radio station. He's doing a radio show out of a treehouse.
Yeah.
I could respect that comment. That was funny.
He and I used to go back and forth. Man, we would.
You know the problem
We had
is
some
though,
good times.
he always turned serious. That was the only problem with him.
He'd take it too. He would.
Yeah,
he had
absolutely.
little man syndrome.
It always would turn serious. You know, you'd like to say lighthearted, and it would go south. It'd go, pfft. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, there's only one thing better than Elvis Presley's version of Suspicious Minds. It's Dwight Yoakam's version of Suspicious Minds, which I actually like better than Elvis's. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, he's an actor. He's a country music singer. He's a rockabilly star. It's Dwight Yoakam on ClassX Radio. How come everybody's off? I think the courthouse in Hamilton County is closed today, but not in Kentucky. Nobody's taking off there. We got court out the yin-yang today, baby. The yin-yang. You ever had court out the yin-yang? We've had court out the yin-yang.
Never
Never.
Anything going on
Shannon
in traffic,
has.
Shannon? Have you ever had it coming out of the yin-yang?
No. I try to avoid court.
Well,
Tries to
yin-yang in
avoid the
court is
yin-yang.
not good.
There's an injury accident on Bank Road at Coleraine Avenue. And
That's right.
is
Call
it.
859-240.
Do you all like poetry?
Absolutely not.
I do. I've been
Stand
published a
it.
couple of times.
Really? What'd you
Yeah,
publish?
when I was younger.
Read them.
Will you bring in
have
your
'em.
Will you bring in your published poems?
I will. Yeah.
Where were they published?
They're in books when I was
they're
younger. In
They're
kids-
poetry books. You can.
poetry books.
On the
Poetry books.
refrigerator?
It's
We're
kinda,
talking real,
it's kinda-
Yeah,
published.
Garrett. It's on the refrigerator.
It's kind of cool. These poetry societies give people an opportunity to be published, and they take poems and they publish. I mean, it's not like Random House, publishing, all-time bestseller. But
Did you get any coin for it?
You're still able
No.
to say you're published.
Yeah.
The reason why is I am a late bloomer to poetry, and Gwen Billingsley, who runs lawreader.com, she sends out poems all the time. And her poem this week that she sent out was "Oh Captain, My Captain" by Walt Whitman, which was in the great
Dead
movie
Poets
with
Society.
Robin Williams, Dead Poets Society.
Great flick.
Carpe Diem, baby.
Oh, Captain,
It's a
my
great
Captain.
movie. Oh Captain, My Captain.
Listen to the, what's he say?
Our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every rack. The prize we sought is won. Want more? No, you don't. You don't want more.
Move on.
Great
poem, though.
The last words are great. But I with mournful tread walk the deck. My captain lies, fallen cold and dead. That was a cool movie. Didn't you love when they stood up on the desks? See, that's
Yes.
something I would have done.
Yeah.
Of course, Headmaster Latin School would have gave us all jug. Had to clean
Paddled
the
'em.
compactor. Stand on the desk. Yeah, it was called jug. That was detention. They called it jug. Man, you clean that trash compactor after ravioli day at lunch. Oh, my God. I cleaned the trash compactor second most in my class to Gary Whittle, who now teaches at the school. I was number 2 bad kid. I would never do anything to get, like, expelled or suspended, but just for jug.
Man, I'm glad they didn't have corporal punishment or what is it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would have been really bad.
When I was in school.
Spanking, wham.
You troublemaker?
Whacks.
Oh, I was a war.
My older brothers, when they were at Simon Kenton, they still had spanking.
Most of the teachers, you could tell, thought it was funny, the crap I did, but still had to, discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Greg grew
Garrett's
up.
never grown out of it.
Jake grew up. I still do that stuff.
What?
You just crap.
Cause trouble.
Cause trouble? I was mischievous, and I think I remain mischievous. They say your personality is formed when you're like 5 years old, and I believe that. I mean, I look at my kids, their personalities were formed by the time they were 5. You can take a different direction. You can change your ways a little bit, but generally the die is cast. Mischievous. To this day, I'm mischievous, but I never go across that line to get myself in some doo-doo.
That's the thing. You always just got to find the line and push it.
But not go over it.
Can't go over it.
Have you ever been arrested?
No.
My kids think it's funny that I've never been arrested before.
Have they?
No, but they just think that they know I'm a rebel.
They're
so
just surprised.
They just figured I would have been arrested by now.
You know what? I was in Tennessee the weekend. My buddies got arrested for stealing beer, which they then hid at my house because they knew we were gone.
Ah, so you harbored fugitives.
Yes. Yeah. And they swam.
That's a federal crime, I think. And, felony, there's no statute of limitations on a felony. Just remember that if you ever want to confess a felony that you were never arrested on here, you may not want to do it. Like the one felony that I did where nobody got hurt, and there was no harm done, I will never confess until on my deathbed. I'll go, me and my one buddy, we're going to take it to our grave. At least we said so. He'll probably turn me in, bust me, and take me down. He'll probably turn against me. If you're going to commit a crime, you should do it by yourself. That way nobody can tattletale on you. You never do that, don't you?
Everybody always talks eventually, usually.
Yeah. How about that guy? The funniest talking story of all time is the guy that shot and killed the Applebee's manager over in Crescent Springs or Crestview Hills. And they didn't catch him. They didn't have enough information on him. And the cop kept calling him. Wayne Wallace kept calling him. And he kept talking to the guy. And finally, after like a freaking year of talking, he just said, yeah, I did it. What a freaking moron.
Told on himself.
But, my wife and I were talking about it last night because we were watching a show where there was a Dateline where there was a murder. And, you think about how that would eat you up. How do you kill somebody and have that on your conscience? Don't you love those Dateline shows?
Shows?
Yeah, the mystery shows. You start watching them and you really do wonder, did he, didn't he? They pull you in, man.
Is that what you watched last night?
Yeah, I watched Dateline. Then I watched Lincoln, National Geographic. And then I watched Shameless, best show on television.
I missed that. I watched The Walking Dead, though.
Shameless is great.
You missed it? Oh, it's great.
And then Californication and House of Lies. And then I watched Spartacus, Blood in the Sand, or whatever the hell it's called. Spartacus is bloody. All it is blood and sex. Game of Thrones, yeah. It's good, too. You know what? 5, 9, 12, 19 cannot compete with direct TV channels. HBO, Stars, Showtime, no comparison. Don't you agree?
Absolutely.
I mean, 5, 9, 12, they got reality shows. That's all they got. That's all they got is reality shows. So, you got a song there, big boy?
No, what do you want? We need one.
Let's do Led Zeppelin, Kashmir. How's that song? See, on a spur of a moment, I can always rock ClassX radio.
You're doing this because of Kashmir Right?
Yeah, right. Kashmir Right. For Kashmir Right, we will play Kashmir by Led the Head Zeppelin. You know what? I take offense that Saturday night it's the Beatles versus the Stones. I think it should be Led Zeppelin and AC/DC. Sorry, Mick, but I'm just telling you, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin. Who's with me on ClassX Radio? This is the Bulldog on ClassX Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, do you realize we're a month away from the official beginning of spring, which would be March 20th. Less than 30 days, because February's short. 30 days we will be in spring.
Yeah, you know what's
10, less than 10 days, we're going to be in March already. This winter has gone fast, thank God.
27 days. You know what that is?
What?
Selection Sunday.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm ready to
find out that your Wildcats are
laps.
staying home.
I'm ready to swim laps in my heated pool and sunbathe and take naps in the sun and become bronzed once again. My wife is accusing me of tanning because my tan, I got such a good tan, it's kind of stuck around, and I swear I am not tanning. My godfather bought like an $8,000 tanning bed for his home, and he said I could stop down anytime Chuckster and I could do it, but I don't tan. I don't go to tanning beds. I don't want to be orange colored.
Shannon?
I don't want to be orange colored.
Shannon tans.
I'm not orange.
Shannon, do you tan?
Yeah. I go to the tan
Yeah,
bed.
you are. You're orange colored.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
See,
you
I'm
have
brown.
a little.
It's not a spray tan. I just go to the tanning bed.
I bronze.
You have an
with
orangish
the real
hue.
sun.
No, I don't.
With the real sun. I don't fake it with a tanning bed. I don't cheat. I let Apollo, the sun god.
Do you feel sick?
I'm just teasing. I believe in the one true God. I'm a mono god. I'm not monolithic, or that's what they call it. But I am not. I don't believe in Apollo, the sun god. I just said it because I saw Troy the other day, and Achilles cut off the head of Apollo, and it was a bad move because later he got shot in the ankle, the only place that he was vulnerable, and he died. So the more of the story is you don't cut the head off Apollo.
What the hell are you talking about?
Have you ever seen the movie Troy, man?
No, man. I don't watch movies, bro.
Bro?
Bro?
Oh, my God. Bro.
Don't you feel sick
Two
going into a
words.
tanning bed?
Can't
and that
stand. Bro and
Two?
dude.
Sick? No.
Bro and
like
dude.
some fat ass
Hey,
slob
dude.
was probably
I
in
feel
there?
better afterwards.
Hey, bro.
Get the
Hey,
vitamin
dude.
D.
Hey, bro. Hey, dude.
I'm taking a
Hey,
nap.
bro.
You don't
I
like
love it.
dude?
No, I don't like
Oh,
dude.
man, I love dude.
Dude.
Said dude all
Daryl
the time.
Parks, dude. Hey, dude. Bro.
Oh,
dude.
Daryl
Bro,
Parks.
Dude.
Dude.
You know what I like?
Shbag.
I like Bulldog.
That's a horrible impression of it. Terrible. Just leave that to me, all right?
All right, Chris Farley. Give me the proper rendition of Bulldog.
Bulldog!
Oh, my God. Oh, I think that was a very good impression.
Not even good. I don't even like doing it.
I like that very much.
You just make me do it, and you're paying the bills, so
I make you do it, baby.
I'd pretty much do anything for money.
I would, too.
I once told my friend that I would, for $100, stick my arm elbow deep in a portalette at the Bengals Stadium.
For $100.
$100,
You would
yeah,
do that.
absolutely.
That's ridiculous,
Absolutely.
Garrett.
Jake, $100?
$100?
$100?
Oh, that is
It wouldn't be
sick.
that gross. I mean,
No, I never did.
Here's an example, Shannon. Here's an example, Shannon.
Yeah.
Every man on the face of the earth, except me, would have sex with like a 90-year-old woman for $1 million. But a woman would not do this. The women would not do the same.
Just go rinse your arm off in the Ohio River, and you're
probably
good to
worse
go.
off than you
Yeah. You want to dunk it in the porta potty after you
You're
go
disgusting.
in the river.
It's time to end the show.
Yeah.
You're sick,
That's
man.
horrible.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I hope you have a wonderful President's Day. And we'll be back tomorrow with some radio superbity. Let's hope there's some a tragedy where nobody dies, some news where nobody gets hurt. We got something to talk about besides Garrett and his lust for 90-year-old women. Every dog has their day. Hope tomorrow is yours on ClassX Radio.